Kurt Alexander and I are going to go through every total on that NFL. Can you hear me?
Hey, Allie, how are you? I'm great. Yeah, I could hear you. I got a little static, but I guess you asked me how I'm doing. I'm doing all right, and I'm ready for total chaos.
All right. Well, for you there at home, I'm going to give everyone kind of a minute to jump in on this. But for people at home, feel free to ask us questions, leave comments, and let us know what your picks are on these totals. We do have a promo code going on this week. It's Vegas. It'll save you 20% off the entire Picks and Parlays site. Kurt, you might notice that things look a little bit gloomy in my box here, in our box.
Yeah.
Can you guess why things look gloomy? Because for the first time ever, I won Total Chaos. I beat you.
It was that Colts pick, wasn't it?
It was the
Colts under, isn't it?
It was the Colts pick. I took it over. You went under. Now, this was also another first for us. It was our first losing week at Total Chaos. Our first 2 weeks we were winning.
Oh, wow.
The third week we pushed, and last week we actually lost. We were 5-6-1. It was that Monday Night Football game that got us. The bastard.
That got us, yeah, with the total. And then I know we had the Cleveland game. I believe we had the Cleveland game going under before we actually knew what the conditions were going to be like. Yeah, it happens. It doesn't happen often. It won't happen this week.
I hope not. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get some things started. Let me just put that right there. The queen of total chaos.
The queen of total chaos. I love it. Yeah. I can't wait till I get to wear the crown. How about that? Do I get a crown?
You can wear the crown if you would like to.
I want my own crown. I don't want your crown.
You got to earn it. You got to take it off my head.
There we go. Sounds
okay.
Like
So, all right. So let's get this party started. The first game that we're going to do is the Broncos at the Falcons. The number here is 50. So go ahead, Kurt, over or under?
And you know how I feel about these 50s. Basically, 49 is more of a football number, and it gets you under that 50 mark where you're going to need a field goal basically to take it over. And in this game, I think you're actually going to get that field goal if it comes down to it. Dome, sweet dome, you have the Broncos on the road in Atlanta. Right now, the Broncos are scoring 21 points a game, but remember, they're just getting healthy. So this offense is going to start to click and have it in a nice dome environment and allow the Broncos to kind of showcase what they have there on offense. On the other side, you have the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons at home. They're 0-4 at home this year. We all know about the Falcons problem, but they can put up points. I'm taking this one over the total. Dome, sweet dome. Let's go over the 50 on this one. We'll get that field goal.
I'm going the other way. I think the line moved quite a bit towards the over, but I don't want to overreact to last week. If you crunch some of these numbers, especially in their last 5 games, these teams are not putting up the amount of points that a lot of the stats say that they are putting up, which is still not a whole lot. And I think weather might be a factor here. So I am going to actually take this game under. So we're already off to a disagreement right out of the gate, Kurt. Out of the gate.
I don't know if this will change your mind, but we're in a dome. Dome, sweet dome. There will be no weather involved. You can jump on the side and be over. I'll give you a chance.
You win this round.
All right.
Okay.
We'll disagree on that one. We'll see.
I still think it's under. Weather was an afterthought for me. Okay, so up next, we've got the Seahawks at the Bills, and that number is at 55. Go ahead.
Allie, this line opened up at 53, and I'm thinking Buffalo. Well, what's going on there? So weather.com, and we're looking at 70 degrees, beautiful weather. And you have the Seattle Seahawks who are coming to town. They just upgraded their defense a little bit, just a little bit. They get Adams back, and they added the defensive lineman whose name escapes me right now from Cincinnati. So they're trying to get this defense back going, but they can't stop a nosebleed. I've said this before. We saw it last when they had a big lead against San Francisco. They still allow these late points, and that's what you're seeing here with the 55 now. It's moved up 2 points, and I have to go with the way the line's moving. I don't really like, but I'm going to take this one over. We have nice weather in Buffalo. We have Seattle coming in with their offense and their bad defense. So I like this one over the total.
I am going against you again. I'm going under. I know the line is moving that way. The Bills have averaged 21 points and allowed 24 in their last 5 games. The Hawks have averaged 33 and allowed 28 in their last 5 games. The defensive numbers in the last 5 are following the season's totals, but the offensive numbers actually reflect that they score less than these totals imply. Plus, the Bills are coming off the Jets and the Pats. They're going to have a lot tougher of a time scoring against the Seahawks, and it's not like they scored so much against the Bills and the Jets. Or the Jets and the Pats. So I am going to go under on this one as well. It's just where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at.
All right.
Hey, Elliot, how's it going? We've got Elliot with us today. He says
Elliot.
The Falcons game is going to go under.
Yes.
Me and Elliot often see eye to eye.
Under.
Okay,
yes.
So up next, it's your team, the Bills at the Titans. The number is 47. Go ahead.
Allie, my Titans have made some changes on defense. They've gotten rid of Vic Beasley. They've gotten rid of Jonathan Joseph, 2 free agents that they brought in to help the defense out, and they just have not been helping the defense out. I think this is a wake-up call for Titans players, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Vrabel just isn't having it. He's a defensive-minded coach. He played linebacker. He's not happy with the way this team is playing. And when you allow that many points to Cincinnati, I don't blame you. I like this game to go under the total. Luckily, they are playing the Bears, who are still having their struggles on offense because they basically can't decide how they're going to use Nick Foles. So right now, I'm liking this game under the total. It ticked up from 46.5 to 47. And the way I look at that is, well, if you liked it over and you get a 27-20 score, that's great at 46.5. But at 47, maybe 47.5, that's not good for the over. So I like to take this game under the total. And I've given you the final score already.
Well, I am with you on this one. Nobody wants to lose 3 games in a row, and that's the spot that these guys are in. I think that means like a slow, steady, solid movement of the ball up the field. Part of me kind of wonders, like, are the Titans just about to unleash something on the Bears? Because they were putting up really big game numbers before their last 2 games. They put 24 up against the Steelers and then only 20 against the Bengals. So part of me kind of feels like they're about to unleash. But honestly, I have to go with what I know right now. And it's same with the Bears. They weren't allowing 20 points until about 2 weeks ago when they allowed 24 to the Rams and 26 to the Saints. Those are both good teams, but so are the Titans. Long story short, I am going to take this one under with you.
There we go.
Yeah, under. That's what we're going to do. So up next, we have I missed one. We've got the Ravens at the Colts, and the number here is 48. So lay it on me.
All right, here we go with my Colts defense that I've been talking about all season. Finally healthy or healthier, and I honestly wanted to jump off the bandwagon of taking them until I saw that line move from 45 to 48. And I'm thinking to myself, like, great. So now we're just going to look at the Colts as a high-scoring offensive team, and their games are just going to go over. I'm not buying it. I'll take the 48, and I'm going to stick with this under. The Colts defense has been playing better over the last couple weeks. When the teams that they faced. They gave up 32 to Cleveland. All right, 27 to Cincy. All of a sudden, it's coming down. 21 to Detroit. Now we're getting lower and lower. You have an offensive line problem with the Baltimore Ravens right now. Where's the protection going to come from? That Colts defensive line has the advantage in this game. That's why I'm taking the under in this game.
I'm going against you again. I mean, the stats say that the Ravens are only allowing 19 points a game, but they allowed 28 in both of their last games. The stats say that the Colts only allow 19 points, but they gave up 23, 27, and 21 in their last 3 games. I think their defenses were better earlier on in the season. The Colts' last 3 totals were 62, 58, and 55. The Ravens' last 3 totals were 51, 58, and 30. I'm going over on this one. I'm still not buying this Colts defense that you keep talking so much about and that you lost total chaos to me on last week. So I'm not letting this go. I never win. I might never win again. I'm sticking with my crown.
That works. That works. Me and my Colts defense. Let's see. Dome, sweet dome this week. Let's see.
All right. Well, don't you over in the dome, sweet dome? Isn't that your thing? Take it over in the dome?
Unless it's the Colts.
Shenanigans. Okay, right. Last one before we have a little bit of a break. We'll check in with some of our viewers. We've got Panthers at Chiefs. It's 52.5. Let me know.
Allie, I didn't check the weather for this game. I will actually have to take a look at this because I like this game to go under the total. I see Christian McCaffrey is actually coming back this game for the Carolina Panthers, which makes you think like, oh, great, here we're going to have some points. What I think that means, great, now we could run the ball. And running the ball trends to the under. It keeps the clock moving. It'll keep Mr. Pat Mahomes on the sideline as long as they could feed this horse that they have in Christian McCaffrey. It will also give Teddy Bridgewater a little bit of relief. Maybe get the 8 in the box to help the passing game out a little bit. But I like having McCaffrey back. I like that to the under 52.5. That's just enough for me to take it under the total.
Yep, I'm with you on this one. Winds are 16 miles an hour at Arrowhead. I did check the weather. But yeah, both of these defenses have been pretty solid as far as the numbers go this year. The Panthers have lost 3 in a row, but they only allowed 25, 27, and 23. The problem is not the defense in Carolina. It's the offense. And having McCaffrey back will make a really big McCaffrey. It's my ex-boyfriend's last name, so now I don't know which one's right. Anyway, but the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and their defense has allowed more than 17 points only once in their last 5 games. They let the Raiders put up that 32 on them. But besides that, they've been really, really solid. So yeah, I am with you on this one. I say we take the Chiefs under the total here. Okay, so we agreed on some, we disagreed on some. People at home, when we agree on things, they tend to do very well. For 2 weeks, we had a solid winning record. The 3rd week we pushed. Last week was our first losing week. We were 5, 6, and 1 on our consensus picks. Elliot V says that the turf won't stop Lamar. I seem to have lost Kurt here, but hopefully he will be back in soon. Yeah, I agree. I like Lamar a lot. I wish he was showing me a little bit more than what he's actually been showing as of late. But that's no joke. 24-27 against the Steelers was a solid number to put up. So I look for them to continue that. So I'm not sure where Kurt went, and if he is going to come back. But, what does that do? But I can keep going and let you guys know my picks if, and we'll wait and see if maybe Kurt can join back in. So up next, we have the Lions at the Vikings. The number here was 52.5. I'm kind of going to go against the line movement on this one. It's going to be a windy day. The over is 4-0 in the Vikings' last 4 home games. It's 4-1 in their last 5 games overall. The Vikings Vikings defense is 29th in total yards, 30th in pass yards, 29th in points allowed. Lions are ranked 26th in points allowed, 22 in total yards, 23 in rush yards. I think these guys are going to come at each other full speed ahead, and I really like it to go over. Do you guys at home have any ideas on the Lions at the Vikings? I know, Elliot, usually I'm the one that disappears in the show, but for some reason today it was Kurt. But no worries. There's a good chance he'll pop back in here. You know how our streams work. Also, you'll be happy to know that I do have my internet guy coming tomorrow morning. So hopefully a lot of my disappearing acts will shut down. Oh, here's Kurt coming back. Okay. Kurt. Okay. So you disappeared. I'm the one that disappears.
You know what? I saw you and I saw my face was still there, but you're like, Kurt's not here. I'm like,
nope, you weren't.
But, okay, I wasn't.
So I went over the Lions and the Vikings pick. I took it under, didn't I? No, I took it, over the total of 52.5. So why don't you give us your rundown on the Lions at the Vikings?
Okay, I also like this game over the total of 52.5 because you have, we'll agree on this one. You have two division rivals. The Vikings coming off a big win, and we're starting to see why they paid Mr. Cook the way they paid Mr. Cook. He's a monster on the field, and Detroit's going to have a hard time stopping him. I look for the Detroit Lions to be able, familiarity. They're going to be able to put some points up against this Vikings defense as well. I like this game to go over the total. You have a division rival. Both teams are still kind of in the mix, I guess you could say. Nobody's been like eliminated just yet, but give it a few more weeks, and at least the Vikings will be eliminated. But for this game, I like it to go over the total.
All right.
A division game. Two good quarterbacks. They know each other. I like this game over the total. I think 52.5 is something that could be reached.
All right. Agree to agree. Up next, we've got, yes. Up next, we have the Giants at the Washingtons, and the number is 43. Lay it on me. What do you got here?
Allie, it doesn't look like weather's going to play much of a factor in this game. These two teams just faced each other a few weeks ago. There was some questionable play calls in that game. I think that game possibly could have went over the total. Looks like Washington's starting to get more comfortable with their quarterback, which is a good thing. And when you look at Danny Dimes and the Giants, injuries have really slowed their team down, especially in the running game. They just can't seem to get. Anytime you look at Danny Dimes and you look at his highlights, he's the one running the ball, but he's the quarterback. In this game, I do feel like they will be able to get over that 43 total. It's just slow enough. I believe last game they landed like right on 40. So this is another field goal added on to where they were a couple weeks ago. So I like this going to go over the total.
I went the other way on this, and I did go back and forth on it a whole lot. It came down to numbers for me. Both of the teams have a decent defense. Washington's ranked number 4 in defense for total yards, number 1 for passing yards. Giants are number 13 total yards, 8 for rushing yards. That being said, in total yards on offense, Washington is ranked 30th. The Giants are 31. I think it's a really low total. Granted, I could see it sneaking over, but for the purposes of this show, I feel like I just have to take this under. I just don't know where these points are going to come from. It's basically what my big problem here is. Where do the points come from? So they're going to have to show me something. So yeah, I'm going under that total. Up next, you have the Texans at the Jags. 50.5 is your number.
Allie, this game is actually trending under, and it's trending under because we have a quarterback change. Your Mr. Minshew will not be playing this week. 6th round pick out of Oregon State will be playing. I'm not sure. I had his name written down. It's not even up here now. But yeah, he'll be taking over this bad Jags team, and that's not good for the over in this game. You're going to need points to be scored. It's in Jacksonville. I get that they're at home. The best part about Jacksonville this year has been the running game. And that hasn't been spectacular. So right now, I don't see where they're going to be able to put the points up with your 6th-round pick quarterback, unless it's Tom Brady. And it isn't Tom Brady. So, yeah, I like this game to go under the total. Houston will be able to control this game. Deshaun Watson, they're coming off of a bye. They're still trying to fix things there in Houston, get their identity. So I like this game to go under that 50 and a half total.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. The first time they played, it was 30-14 Houston. Jags have a lot of injuries. And like you said, the main one is Gardner Minshew. That's a huge problem for a team that's already not doing real well. So I agree with you on this one. I am going to take it under the total. And hopefully my Texans can get a win. That would be rad too. I would be super stoked about that. Where am I on my little thing here? Sorry, I'm still figuring out the new system. All right, so we've got Raiders at Chargers. That number is, well, thank you. I'm trying. That number is 52. We've got a couple more, and then we'll check back in with our commenters. Hopefully you can stick around for that this time, Curtis. So Raiders, right? Chargers, 52. It happens.
I'm taking this game over the total. I'm a huge fan of Mr. Herbert. I wasn't in college. I liked him in Oregon. I'm a bigger fan this year because it doesn't matter who he's matched up against on the other side. He wants to let people know that he's the guy. He's the one you're buying the tickets to come see. He's the show. This is who Mr. Herbert is, and he backs it up with his performance. He has weapons out there with the Chargers, and he uses them. Mike Williams. Do you remember Mike Williams out of Syracuse, 1st-round pick? Nobody really knew what was going to become of him. And all of a sudden, here's Mr. Herbert. And he's like, hey, this Mike Williams guy is good. And so is Mr. Keenan Allen. And I'm going to get them the ball. I like this game to go over the total. The Raiders secondary just hasn't shown me enough. It's kind of always been their Achilles heel over the last few years. It's been their secondary. It has gotten better over the last couple drafts, but I think that Mr. Herbert will be able to pick them apart. I like this one to go over the total.
I like this one over the total too. And Craig Trapp brought up a good point over the week, saying that, the Raiders wanted LA to build them a stadium and they didn't. And then that's why they're out here in Vegas. They did build the Chargers a stadium. And I think that there's going to be a little bit of a coming home factor, a going home and sticking it to the man factor. And then on the other side of that, I love the freaking Chargers. All of y'all who watch know how I feel about Justin and the Chargers. So, so I agree. I think this is going to be a really fun one to watch. I think it's going to be highly competitive, and I think it's going to go over 52 points. And that's where I'm at on that. All right, so we agree again. Love that. Okay. Let's do Steelers at the Cowboys. My Steelers. Total is at 43. Lay it on me.
Allie, I saw this total, and the first question I asked myself is, can the Steelers score 43 points? And I think they can. I really think they can. I would hate to take this game under and have to count on the Cowboys defense to stop the Steelers offense. I don't trust this Cowboys defense. And then when you look on the other side of the ball with their offense, you would think, hey, just run the ball with Zeke. Well, Zeke is coughing the ball up, and now there's injury questions with Zeke. So I honestly went back and forth with this one, and I'm going to take this one under. I am going to take it under, even though I think the Steelers can. I just don't think they will. I think they'll probably put up in the mid-30s, but I could see them, take foot off the gas if it's not a competitive game. And I don't imagine this one being a competitive game. The only way this one goes over the total is if the Cowboys turn the ball over much and the defense for the Steelers scores. So right now, just going off of me thinking that the Cowboys offense isn't going to put up enough, the Steelers will put up enough, but not enough to take it over. I'm going to take it under the 43.
I'm with you on this. And I had the same like thought process. It's a tough one. It can go either way, but are the Steelers going to score 43 points in this game? Like, tell me how a team that puts up 9 against the Eagles, 3 against Washington, and 10 against the Cards is about to score on the number 5 defense. I have in my notes, I get the Steelers could easily put up 40, and maybe the boys can put up another 3 or so, but I'm not buying it. I got to see something else. So yeah, I'm going to take this one under the total. It makes me nervous because it's such a highly one-way game that it seems like an opportunity that oh, look, the Cowboys covered or something weird would happen like that.
Right.
So those obvious games are the scariest games to me, Yeah. So we're going to take a quick break. Our old buddy Joe is on with us today. Joe is one of our aviator friends. He says Herbert slings the ball all over the field. He agrees with the over 52. Oh, thank you, sir.
What's going on, partner? That's my buddy right there, Joe. That's me and Joe go way. Yeah, Joe likes the over. I love the over. You like it, I love it, Joe.
Joe says the Steelers can put up 43 by themselves. I agree with that.
Will they? Will they want to? Will they want to?
Will they?
Will they? Right. You know that they can against Dallas. Will they?
Yes. Scott Brown likes the Seahawks on the money line. And I can never say this word right, but I'm pretty sure it's Mexican baseball because Elliot the Fifth really likes these guys too. And so that's how I even know that they're a team because I talk with Elliot about them. Elliot the Fifth, if you're really Elliot V, I'm going to need you to give me a shout out and let me know how to say your name. But Elliot the Fifth just sounds so regal. I like it.
Yes, Elliot the Fifth. I like that. I was calling him Elliot V.
All right. And Scott Brown also says if you want another little parlay, he's got Texans money line with that team. Also, yeah, I'm assuming Mexican baseball. Oh, here they are.
Who that team is.
Yeah. Elliot knows a lot about this stuff. He really does. Believe the hype.
But I do like those parlays. I love the Texan pick. I love the Texans pick. I think that line actually opened up, I want to say at 2.5 or 3. And as soon as, you found out who the quarterback was going to be, it shot up to 7. So yeah, I definitely like there it was. It was just 6.5. It was 6.5 moved up to 7. I could see that getting even higher. I definitely like the Texans in that game.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Okay. Sorry. I'm dealing with my little thing. Okay. So up next.
Yes.
Maybe. There it is. All right. So we're going to do the Dolphins at the Cardinals, the number. Oh, Joe says he doesn't think that's Mexican baseball. Oh, it's UFC.
Oh, you are funny.
Elliot and I talk a lot about Mexican baseball. It just looked like that. Okay, so they're UFC guys. I'm sorry. You would think in my job I would know stuff like that, but I'm not a UFCer and I'm not a Mexican baseballer. Kurt, stop laughing.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm kidding.
Next question.
I mean, sometimes it's not easy being a blonde. Okay. Sometimes things like that happen to you and you just have to move on. Okay. So up next, we've got Dolphins at the Cardinals. The number's 49. Go for it.
Ali, I said it the other day and I'm going to keep my pick the same. I'm going to take this game over the total. 2 a time on the road. And it looks like the Dolphins like feasting on this NFC West. You get your best games from Miami. Doesn't it seem that way? You saw what they did to Rams last week, what they did to San Francisco. All of a sudden, it seems like their offense wakes up, their defense wakes up, and now they're going on the road, dome sweet dome, in Arizona. Kyler Murray on the other side. I tell you, this new generation of young quarterbacks, I really feel like they try to outdo one another when they see one shining, and it's their time to get on the field and run their offense. I like this game going over the total. I think both of these offenses will be able to move the ball. You still have injury issues and injury problems going on there in Arizona, and they're still trying to kind of figure things out. And like I said, Miami, and what happens to Miami when they play the NFC West, it just sparks. You have fireworks, and I like this one going over the total, 2 a time.
I am okay. In our free pick video, I took this over, but now I'm taking it under. I'm switching. Okay. And yes, it is 2 a time. And 2 a time seems to be a pretty fun time if you're a Miami fan. So good on you, Tua. But Arizona is on this 3-game run of playing bad defenses, right? They played the Jets, they played the Cowboys, they played the Seahawks. They're going to have a much tougher time putting up points against the Dolphins. That I'm like pretty certain on there. Miami is 2-5 to the under. Arizona is 1-6 to the under. I got to go under here. I'm feeling it. I think the Cards are going to have a rough time scoring points here. And I don't know if Tua and the crew can do it all. So I'm going to take that one under the number. Up next, we've got the Saints at the Buccaneers. The total is 50.5. Hit me.
Allie, this total is the same total that the Broncos and Falcons have, 50.5. And when I looked at it, I'm thinking, okay, you have Antonio Brown joining the Buccaneers. You know, you have Mr. Thomas making it back on the field for the Saints, and you just have this total at 51, basically 50.5. I'm taking this one over the total. I think there's just too many stars on offense in this game. I think Drew Brees is going to be so happy to get Mr. Michael Thomas back and get that offense rolling again. I think Mr. Kamara will be happy to see Michael Thomas back and get that offense rolling again. And the Buccaneers, they didn't really show too much against the Giants last week. Scary game, a 2-point win. I think that offense comes back this week. Dome, sweet dome, we're inside. I like this one to go over the total. You have a lot of stars in this game. I think we could eat the cake there. We're gonna bite on it. We're gonna take this one over. Isn't that right, Allie?
It's not right, but you kind of convinced me in your speech to go over. But I feel like it's an under. I think that both of these defenses have really improved since the first time they played against each other. That game ended up with a total of 57. But the Saints aren't putting up 34 points a game like they did in that last one. I get that the BUCS definitely could, especially with Brown, but this number's moving down. It reflects the improvement on defense. The Saints are missing a bunch of guys. The BUCS are on a short week. And also on this, one of the sites I was looking at, like 74% of the consensus bets are on the over. So why is that number moving under? So I got to take it under. It's just, you might be right on this one, but I got to take this one under.
Okay.
Although I did get just screwed with Brady in the under last week. Both of us did. So
yes. He owes us an over.
I don't know. I got to stay under. I just got to.
Okay.
But it was a good argument.
It was. But stick to your first mind.
All right. So the last game, this is our Monday night football game that I will probably sleep through. The Patriots at the Jets. The number here is 41.5. What do you got on this one?
Allie, I've been waiting for this game all week. I've had this game circled on my calendar. Okay. I'm going to take this game under the total. Basically, the Jets can't score. The Patriots. It seems like they've gotten Cam Newton, and they've decided that it's going to be Cam to the right, Cam to the left, Cam up the middle. This is going to be their offense. No more attempts at throwing the ball down the field because of the interceptions. So I could see that. That being an issue here. I don't see how either one of these teams are going to score. This is going to be a very low-scoring game. This might be a field goal kicking contest. The Jets defense has been playing better, and believe it or not, the Jets might actually be the better team in this game. I like this game to stay under that 42. I don't think that I saw the look on your face. I don't think that the Patriots will be able to put up enough points, and I think the Jets actually just bring you into their environment. Like, look, we're a sad team, to watch us play football. So why don't you come and join us on the field? And you start to see these teams kind of play like the Jets, like their style. So the Jets kind of bring you in and have them play their style of football. And it's an awful style of football they have you playing. Kansas City looked boring last week. It's I'm thinking taking this game under the total. Yeah, this is definitely going under that 42.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. Yeah, it's like misery loves company. Like the Jets are just this succubus of a team that's like brings everybody down with them. But I do kind of like them in this spot also. I would favor the Jets here, but I am going to go under. Where are these 41.5 points going to come from? I don't know if maybe, they're putting some cheerleaders in or something else. But even in a primetime spot, and even with this really low number, I just don't see how it gets there. The Pats have scored 50 points in their last 4 games. The Jets have scored 29 points in their last 4 games. I mean, it's ugly, y'all. It's ugly. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be straightforward. It's ugly. I hope I'm wrong and maybe we get a good Monday night game. I just don't think that I am. So that's just it. So we're going to go under on the Patriots and the Jets. Yeah. Like Rosie the Riveter who does we can do it. Like that chick, that should be the new logo for the Patriots. And it should say, we can do it. That's what I feel like.
We can do it.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Elliot agrees. Oh, that was the wrong thing to hit. Elliot agreed with saying the Jets could win this one outright.
Yes.
He says, I'm from New York and this is their Super Bowl. Joe says that the ball is going to be flying on both sides with Breeze and Brady. He likes the over. That's just because you're better friends with Kurt than you are with me, Joe. Not cool. No, like I said, you put up a really, really good point there. Scott Brown says he'll take Russell Wilson to outscore Josh Allen any day of the week. I can't get mad at you about that one, friend. Yeah. Can't get mad. Definitely. Elliot agrees with Scott there. That's what they do.
I agree too. The total's going that way. The total's showing that this might be a shootout. And then you have great weather in Buffalo for like another week before the storms hit. So
right.
Yeah, I definitely like that game to go over. And we see the Seattle defense week after week. We were actually doing an in-play show last week when Seattle's defense was on. And they just could not stop anything. You bring in the backup quarterback. Everybody's just trying to go home. And nope, we have one more drive because Seattle can't get off the field. Let's give up one more touchdown. Extend it just a little more because we can't stop them from scoring and just kneel the ball down. No, it has to be last minute touchdown. Yeah, that's Seattle's defense.
Well, and that just really goes to show you how good Seattle's offense is because they've only lost 1 game, right? They're 5-1, I think. Is that right? Yeah. So, that just goes to show you how many points this team can put up when they're letting go of that's crazy talk. Crazy talk.
Yeah, it really is. Their offense, and the reason why their offense is capable of putting up so much is because they have to.
Yeah.
Week after week, they have to put up these and the Arizona game, it still wasn't enough. He still took you to overtime. It's almost like their perfect game. Maybe Russell Wilson could play a little defense too. Maybe, see if that'll help them out.
Yeah, you would think by this point in the season you would have started working on that. They've been
trying to fix this defense for a few weeks now. A few weeks back, they were trying to fix the defense, and then you had the injury to Adams, and now you have, them bringing in help on the defensive line. They're juggling everything they possibly can on defense right now, and nothing seems to be working. Maybe we need to find out who the defensive coordinator is.
Yeah, and fire him.
Fire
his ass. Yeah, and fire his ass. Okay, so I do have Craig Trapp's 5 rapid fire picks for the NFL for this week. So let's cruise through them and you let me know what you think on them. Some of them are, a couple of them are totals that we've already gone over. So first of all, Craig in the Ravens and the Colts game. He likes the Ravens -2.5 here. I like the Ravens -2.5 here also. What do you like here?
Allie, I also like the Ravens -2.5. It's down to a pick 'em. And
yeah,
I said that earlier. When the Ravens are favored against good teams, they really don't do well. They've lost twice already. But this game seems to be, I don't think that Indianapolis is in class as the Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's why I'm sticking with the Ravens on this one.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That game against the Steelers showed me a lot about the Ravens. It really did. So up next, he says to take the Bucks -4.5 and the over 51.5. I know you like the over here. I know I like the under, but what do you think about the Bucks against the Saints?
I'm actually going to go with the home dog Saints. I like the Saints in this game. Short week for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I understand that you now have Antonio Brown, so you have weapons and Tom Brady. But hey, they took care of you guys earlier this year, and that Saints defense is not a good defense. So I would be surprised to see the Saints lose this one at home. I think they've already beaten this team, and I think they're going to beat them again.
Wow, that's a tough one, but I like the Bucks here. I really just do. I have not been impressed with the Saints. And I've said it many times. I am not a Tom Brady fan. I'm not that girl, like most other girls in the world are, but I'm not that girl. And yeah, so for me to back Brady is kind of a big deal for me. I'm stepping outside of my box, but I like him in this spot. I said it also on the free picks that on a lot of teams, revenge factors aren't really a big, it's not actually there. We just think there's a revenge factor, but it's not really there. I think it's really there here. These are like the two top tier veteran quarterbacks in the league. And, Brady lost one. So I think he wants to get it back. And so, yeah, I like the Bucs in this spot. Okay, one more. We've got the Raiders. I don't know why this isn't going. There we go. The Raiders of the Chargers. Craig says to take the Raiders at pick. I don't know why I won't come up on my thing, but that's what he said. Trust me. What do you
said Raiders
think about that?
I actually like the Chargers in this game. I see the Raiders are a pick 'em. Another road game for the Raiders. Back-to-back weeks, they were able to take care of Cleveland last week, but this is a tougher matchup, and we talk about Mr. Herbert all the time. We don't talk about the Charger defense